Everyone ready? Alright, so the first 25, 26 problems are going to be intensive versus extensive. And then the last three are going to be density. The order does not change. It's extensive on the left, intensive on the right. Boiling point. Extensive is on the left.
Oh, sure. Boiling point.
So it's intensive. It doesn't depend on size. The boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius, 212 degrees Fahrenheit, or 373.15 Kelvin. Conductivity. Again, the questions depend on size or amount. Conductivity is does copper conduct electricity? Yes, it does. It doesn't depend on size. For taste, doesn't depend on size or amount. Brittleness. So glass is very brittle. It doesn't depend on how much glass. Temperature. How hot is it outside? I didn't specify the size of outside. Magnetism. Very good. Mass. Remember MVL men. Mass, volume, length, moles, energy, number of particles. They're all the main extensive. Density. Even though density is mass divided by volume, it's a ratio. It's a ratio of two properties. Most likely, it doesn't depend. Yes, it doesn't depend. Length. Remember, MVL men. That's the L. So for the length, remember it depends on size or amount. How long is a ruler? Well, it depends on if it's a 1 foot ruler or a yardstick. Amount of energy. Put your mask on. So this is the E in MVL men. Energy is, so that includes potential energy or kinetic energy. The amount of energy something has depends on the size or mass. Volume. That's the V in MVL men. Mass, volume, length, moles, energy, and number of particles. Those are your extensive properties. Ductility. That's the ability to draw something into a wire without breaking. Shape. So, if you have a cube and you add to the cube, change its size, is it a cube?
Yes, it's still a cube. What is it?
Not if you add another circle to it. So if you take a ball and smush it into a cube, it's no longer a cube. So think about clay. If you have a cube of clay and you add some more clay to it, you probably don't have a cube shape anymore. Or if you grab a cube of clay and you remove some of it, it's no longer a cube. So it depends on size or amount. If you don't know, it's probably good to gas intensive. So it's diamond shiny. So it doesn't depend on size or amount. Color. So gold has a gold color. Does it depend on how much gold you have? It's all the same color. Malleability. How easy it is to hammer something into a thin sheet. Gold is very malleable. Again, does it depend on the size or amount? Surface area. So we have this room. It has some surface area. If we knocked out this wall and add more room to it, do we change the surface area of the floor? Yes, we add a whole another room to it. So it depends on size or amount. The surface area depends on the size, the dimensions of the room. Size. The size depends on size. That's the definition of extensive. Hardness. Intensive. Concentration.
What concentration? Yeah.
How concentrated something is. Good. So, again, concentration is defined as how much salt per volume. It's kind of like density. So, if you have a highly concentrated saltwater mixture, and I take a drop of it, that drop is highly concentrated salt mixture. Right? If a drink tastes very, very, very salty, if you remove a drop, that drop still tastes very, very salty. So we define concentration in such a way, it's like how many grams of salt in 1 liter of water for every liter of water. Weight. So if you remove some of it, if you remove some of the amount, does it change weight?
Yeah, so you took a strain off of this, you got to keep one in.
Yes, so changing its size or amount does change the weight, so it's extensive.
No, how'd you get that wrong? Fucking didn't do this one.
Reacts with oxygen. Keep your mask on, Thomas. So again, it doesn't matter on amount. It's just talking about will that chemical react or not react. Mole. That's not mold. Y'all keep y'all's mask on. So that's the M in MVL men. That's the second M. So mass, volume, length, moles is so it's like dozen. A dozen is 12. Mole is 6.66 times 10 to the negative, or 10 to the 30, 22, 34, something like that. I forget the number off the top of my head. Solubility. So solubility is how much you can get something to dissolve in a given in a certain amount of water. So salt, you can get like 50 grams per liter or something like that to dissolve. Again, that's a ratio, and ratios don't depend on size or amount. It's a property of salt. Will it dissolve or not dissolve? What is the equation for density?
Oh my god!
Density is mass divided by volume.
I got my switch.
Mass divided by volume. So the next questions are going to be about density. Alright. What is the density of a 10-gram block with a volume of 20 milliliters? 10-gram block with a volume of 20 milliliters. Mass divided by volume. The mass is 10 grams divided by the volume 20 milliliters. 10 divided by 20 is a half. 30 was addition. That's just adding. This is again, it's division. You're going to be dividing two numbers. Alright. Last question, I think. Silver has a density of about 10 grams per cubic centimeter. What is the mass of a 50 cubic centimeter block of silver? So the question says that silver has 10 grams for every cubic centimeter. So for every cubic centimeter has 10 grams of mass. There are 50 total cubic centimeters. So for every 50 of them, there's 10. So we do 10 times 50. If you can mentally picture the triangle, D is equal to M over V. You're solving for M, so that leaves the D and the V on the bottom, so it's multiplication. Alright, now let's move on to element, compounds, and mixtures. Yep. Yes. Yes. There's only 22 questions. Again, it's going to change up slightly at the end. I think. And again, I do not change the format of the answers. I don't try to be tricky. Can you wait until after this game? Again, use your real name so I can tell who you are. Your first name, or whatever name you commonly go by. There's 2 Poirets in this class, though. Who's MC Mickey? Mikey. Who is up? Change it. Is that a 1? Poiret 1? Change it. There you go. Who hasn't signed in? Are you not signing in, Buck? Okay. Alright, y'all ready? Oh, I know it. I got you, Buck. I'm going to hurt you. Alright, a diamond is classified as... So a diamond is pure carbon. Carbon is on the periodic table. So it's an element. It only has one type of atom, and that is carbon. Salad dressing is classified as...
Which one?
Michael, put your mask on. Michael, put your mask on.
Is it heterogeneous when you see the different parts?
Yes, I even had a picture to where you could see different parts of it. You had oil on the top, and you had some spices and water on the bottom. So it's heterogeneous.
I got it wrong.
Air is classified as so air is a mixture of different gases. If you looked at that table, it is 78% nitrogen, about 21% oxygen, about 1% argon. The rest of it were trace materials. Air is a mixture of different gases, mostly nitrogen and oxygen, mostly nitrogen. It all looks the same. It's transparent, so that means it's homogeneous.
I'm feeling with you. Rick can get it.
Krypton is classified as an element. Its elemental symbol is Kr. It's an element on the periodic table. Water is classified as a compound. H2O.
Oh, as soon as the whole genes mixture, I was like, oh.
Ammonia is classified as it shows you the picture of the compound. The molecule or compound of ammonia. It is one nitrogen with 3 hydrogen atoms attached to it. By the way, when I talk about like ammonia and water, assume I'm talking about pure water and pure ammonia. Technically, ammonia is usually dissolved in water and is a mixture, but when I talk about ammonia, I'm referring to the chemical ammonia.
Oh boy.
Wood is classified as
Yeah, I won't pick the game one or the.
keep your mask on. It has different parts. There's the bark, and then there's the wood. You can also see the individual cells if you zoom in. There's even sap in it. There's different colors. You can see different colors in wood. You can see the grain of the wood. Alright. Dry ice is classified as. You can see the chemical formula, CO2. 1 carbon with 2 oxygen atoms attached to it. Sugar is classified as. It's a compound. It's a chemical. Sugar is a chemical. Thomas, get your fingers out of your mouth and cover it up. Get your fingers out of your mouth. All you're doing is spraying your spit over the room. Sulfuric acid is classified as. It's a compound. Sulfuric acid is a mixture of hydrogen, sulfur, and oxygen. Potassium is classified as that's a mistake. So this original PowerPoint you saw at the beginning is a duplicate. They had all the answers randomized, and I corrected it, and I forgot to uncheck the previous answer. Originally, element was on the bottom right. I thought it'd be nice to you guys and always keep element to the top left. I just forgot to uncheck it. The correct answer was element. So it is not a homogeneous mixture because it's not a mixture. I need to go in and correct that. Isopropyl alcohol is classified as it even gives you the chemical formula. There is no plus sign in that. If there was a plus sign, it would be a mixture. And Thomas, keep your mask on. Salt is classified as a compound. Salt is a chemical you need to memorize. Sodium and chlorine mixed together. NaCl.
Oh, I'm stupid.
A chocolate chip cookie is classified as you can see individual parts. You can see the chocolate and you can see the cookie. So it looks different. Heterogeneous.
I'm always now.
If it was a pure cookie, you could probably argue that's homogeneous. You could probably argue that you can't see different parts. Most of the time, if you zoom really into it, though, you would be able to see different parts.
So technically, I am right.
But I didn't do anything tricky with that question. I said it was chocolate chip. You can see the chocolate and you can see the cookie.
Here, chocolate.
This substance cannot be broken down physically nor chemically. This substance cannot be broken down physically or chemically. Elements cannot be broken down by chemical means or physical means. Only nuclear.
I told you, I'm gonna choose good junior, so hold on.
I'm in seventh place.
Okay, I'm gonna say that while I got the answer, like the actual right answer, but I'm gonna choose good junior.
Keep your mask on, Thomas. Pure substances made of two or more elements chemically combined together. Oh. I apologize. I could have swore I double checked this and I had them all correct. I apologize for that. It took a while for me to go into this thing and edit it to get all of them in the correct spot. The Kahoot website for creating this sucks. Alright, so but be on the safe side, it might make some mistakes toward the end. I do not think so, though. But then again, I didn't think I made that mistake either. A solution can be classified as Alright. So you can't trust they'll stay in the same spot. I need to correct this before the next period.
Oh, you're not on Alright, I just want to say this.
I don't know if it will. I could have swore I changed these. I don't think I hit save at the end. And that's the reason why. Pure substances formed from chemical combinations of two or more different elements. Pure substances formed from chemical combinations of two or more different elements. It's a definition of compound. I'm fairly... Why is it that... Alright. M&Ms are classified as... Yeah, I don't trust it anymore. I'm fairly sure that I just forgot to hit save at the end yesterday. So you can see different parts. You can see the chocolate inside and the outer shell. And also the dye that changes the colors. There is no different flavors between the M&Ms. Salt water is classified as... It looks the same throughout. Yep. Milk is classified as... So it's technically classified as a colloid, which a colloid is very close to being a solution. You can't see the differences throughout it without using a microscope. Yeah, it's over there by you. I'm about to go into the next one, though. We only have like 2 more questions. What is the difference between a heterogeneous and homogeneous mixture? Red is homogeneous, looks like one thing. Heterogeneous looks like 2. They are the same. Homogeneous is made of one thing. Heterogeneous is made of 2 things. Homogeneous separated physically. Heterogeneous chemically. All right. The trick question is the yellow, because it says made of one thing versus made of 2 things. Mixtures are always made of at least 2 things. Homogeneous versus heterogeneous only means looks. Do they look different or do they look the same? The last one is any mixture can be separated by physical means. Yes. Be quick. Alright. So the plan is Monday, test review, put your mask on. And then Tuesday we'll have the test. Then you'll have